It was supposed to be a quiet Saturday, the kind of morning where the mist hovers low over the lake and the water's still like glass. I had my old rod, a fresh thermos of coffee, and my favorite fishing hat, faded, stained, and absolutely perfect. The lake sat nestled in the middle of my 300-acre ranch, where my family had lived for over 3 generations. I hadn't been out on the dock for more than 15 minutes when the sound of a golf cart engine snapped the piece like a twig. I turned and saw Karen. Yes, that Karen, the self-appointed queen of the neighboring HOA community. Right behind her were 2 HOA board members, armed with clipboards like they were headed to war. They screeched to a halt on the edge of the lake and started yelling before I could even reel in my line. "You are in violation of HOA Water Use Code 5C, Karen shouted, holding up her laminated rules like they were the Constitution. "This lake is reserved for Lakeside Estates residents only. You are trespassing." I actually laughed. "Ma'am," I said, "you're standing on my land. And that lake you're screaming about? I own it. You folks are the ones trespassing." Karen scoffed, waving a piece of paper like she'd caught me red-handed. "That's not what our property map says. I'm calling the cops." 10 minutes later, 2 deputies pulled up in a cruiser. By this point, Karen had made a scene. Several HOA residents had gathered near the property line, phones out, recording me like I was some outlaw fisherman. I stayed seated on the dock, sipping my coffee while the deputies approached. The lead officer, Deputy Harris, took one look at me and sighed. "Morning, Jack," he said. "Didn't expect to see your name on a trespass call." "Didn't expect to be accused of trespassing on my own lake," I replied. Karen stormed up, handing Deputy Harris her precious documents. "This man refuses to leave private HOA property." Harris read through the pages, then raised an eyebrow. "This says Lakeside Estates has lake access, but it doesn't say you own the lake." Karen crossed her arms. "It's shared community property. It's in our bylaws." That's when I pulled out the deed. I'd kept a copy laminated in my tackle box, thanks to run-ins like this before. It clearly showed the lake, entirely within my ranch's legal boundary. No easements, no shared rights, just mine. Harris read it, looked at me, then looked back at Karen. "Ma'am, this man owns the lake and the land you're standing on. You and your group are trespassing." Karen went pale. But we've always come down here to kayak and hold barbecues." I shrugged. "Doesn't make it legal. You've been lucky I didn't press charges before." Karen tried to pivot, claiming historical use rights and community traditions. Harris wasn't buying it. He asked them all to leave immediately and warned that next time, trespassing charges would stick. Later that week, I decided it was time to settle this nonsense once and for all. I installed a tall gate with a keypad at the lake trail entrance and posted clear signs that read, "Private property, no trespassing. Lake use restricted to owner." Then just for fun, I had an aerial survey team fly over and take photos of the lake's boundaries. I mailed every HOA board member a laminated copy with a highlighted section titled, "Not Your Lake." Karen tried one last time, petitioning the county for community lake access. Too bad the county records office backed me. The HOA had no claim to the lake, dock, or the land around it. 2 months later, the HOA had to refund over $75,000 to residents for falsely promising lake privileges in their brochures. And me, I now fish in total peace. No more golf carts, no more shouting, just loons, trout, and the occasional chuckle as I remember the time Karen called the cops on the lake's actual owner.